Good morning, everybody. Claudia McMullen here, founder of Hugo Coffee Roasters. As you all know, we do fundraisers every week of every month to benefit a small animal welfare organization nationwide. And this week, our beneficiary partner is none other than Kobe Henro, located in Boston. And we're here today with the lovely Helaine Block of Kobe Henro. Good morning, Helaine.
Good morning, Claudia. How are you today?
I'm great. Now tell us a little bit about one, the organization Kobe Henro, and two, where did the name Kobe Henro come from?
Okay, Kobe Henro, I launched in October 2020,
Okay.
right around when COVID was kind of getting a little serious at that point. I was going through my town center and I saw the food bank, which usually has a pretty small line of cars, maybe 5 or 6 cars. And that day when I was driving through, there must have been 50 cars, and it made me stop and pause and say to myself, what's going on here? You know, it's tough enough for people to feed themselves and their families, but how about the dogs and cats out there?
Mm-hmm.
It must be really challenging. So I had an idea and I said, maybe I can find a way to get the surplus of food that's out there and the extra food and get it into the hands of those who need it. And within, I think, 3 days after that, Kobe Henro was launched because I did some research and realized there was food out there and it needed to get from point A to point B, and people have been wonderful, and the supply of food has been ongoing since then.
That's
So that's
fantastic.
how it began.
That's fantastic. So what does the name mean, Kobe Henro?
Okay, a lot of people ask that, so it's a good question. Okay, it's KOBEHENRO.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my 4 dogs. Actually, I have a picture of them here. I can show you.
Okay.
If you can see this.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we can get it in there better.
Yep.
All right. So I had Cooley was my first dog.
Okay.
I got her in the mid 80s. I had her for just about 13 years. So she's the portion of Kobe. Belle was my second dog I had for just about 13 years. Also, all rescue dogs I have, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the B portion. So that's a Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 dogs had full, lovely lives. And now the Henro portion is Henry, who is sitting down taking a nap by my feet.
Mm-hmm.
He's the hen portion, and Rosita is the baby in the family. So she's the row. So that's Kobe Henro.
That's awesome. All right, now tell me a little bit about one. Where do you get the dog food? And is it dog and cat food? Is that what you get? Is that what you gather and then give out?
Correct. Dog and cat food. I primarily get them from retailers. Loyal Companion is a large retailer in New England, and they've been wonderful to me. I'm connected with 5 or 6 of their stores, so they donate quite a bit. And I've also there's some manufacturers. I've gotten some food from Well Pet, Waruva, made by Nacho. The local manufacturers, they've also donated a couple pallets of food. So that really got me going. Mm-hmm. And MSPCA, which is the Massachusetts Society of the Protection of Cruelty to Animals, they also get damage bags from Chewy, and they're gracious, and they give me an abundance of food also. So we just flip it.
And then who are the organizations? Are they individuals or organizations or both that you then donate the food to?
I started with just local food pantries. So I made a list of the food pantries around to see who would be interested. And, some of them were not interested because they had very few clients that had animals.
Yep.
And the few that were interested were very interested, and they're regular recipients. So I dropped food off to them. And when people come in, they can put a list. With COVID, it's been different. They don't go through as regularly, but they'll fill out a list when they pull in, and dog and cat food. And sometimes I have treats and toys available, so they can check off what they want. And once that started going, I realized that I had a surplus of food. I had so many donations.
Mhm.
That's when I started connecting with the local shelters and
Mhm.
was trying to find a way to service the Southern Rescues as well. And that is now about 70% of my recipients of the Southern Rescues. And that is a that is where my heart is. The food pantries, I am very eager to help as well, but they seem to be pretty stable, and thankfully they're doing well. They have a good flow of food. It's those Southern Rescues that I'm really trying to get a lot of food down to.
And when you say Southern Rescues, where are the Southern Rescues? Southern
Um,
Massachusetts?
Carolinas, Texas,
Oh, okay.
Louisiana.
I see.
Yeah, sorry, you're in Utah, so it's like the Northeast. For instance, I work with Charleston Animal Society, so they send animals up to Northeast Animal Shelter in Salem, Massachusetts, and when they bring the dogs and cats up north
You
in
give
their
them
van,
food,
pardon?
then you give them food and they drive it
Right.
back.
Exactly. So they come up the van, they unload the animals, they get them, situated in the shelter, and they all get adopted pretty quickly, luckily.
That's great.
And rather than going back with an empty van, I meet the transport and I load up their van with like 600-700 pounds of food each trip usually.
And how did you connect with the Southern shelters to begin with?
Oh, just a lot of digging.
You just knew that your local shelters are supplied, they help out the Southern shelters, so there's animal transports that go up to your area, and you just connected the dots and reached out to them and said, don't go back empty, I have food for you.
Exactly.
Oh, they must love that.
Yeah, they do. And for me, it makes me happy because I know a lot. My background, I was a writer by trade. So I spent a lot of time, finding stories and pitching stories. And always the animals always were on the top of my list to cover. And the rescues, they need to educate, particularly in the South, they just need to educate about, spay and neuter. We've got to keep the numbers down.
Yeah.
And then if I can give them food, I feel as though that'll free up some of their budget so they can educate and they can provide medical care. And not a lot of people realize how dire the situation is down south. Up north, we're doing okay. We've taken great strides.
Yeah.
I know best friends. I know they've done wonderful, and they have their campaign, no kill by 2025, and we're all working hard to do that. It's as we rescue people are different, and as they say, it takes a village, and we all help one another out, and we all have the same goal in mind.
Oh, that's fantastic. Do you have a sense as to how much, how many pounds of dog food and cat food you are donating monthly or yearly?
Yes, I was good about that. I kept a little list. Last week, we just hit 30,000 pounds of food donated in 21 months. So, I have a goal. I want to keep increasing. My goal at first was 1,000 pounds a month. Now I'm getting to 2,000 pounds a month. Sometimes I hit 2,500. So it all depends. I'm always looking it's not as easy as one would think to get the Southern Rescues or the food pantries interested. Sometimes there's an interest and it takes a while to get that back to me. I also do get some private people who have fallen on hard times. I'm happy to help all of them out as well. So that's something I do, confidentially, but it's been great. These people are so appreciative. I've seen tears, I've gotten hugs, and
No.
life's not easy. So you
No.
do what you can do. And
Yeah. We have this beautiful organization here as well. We have two organizations in Salt Lake. One is a food pantry, and it's like what you do, and it's a food pantry for dogs and cats, but also feed for like farm animals,
nice.
and and for people who are going through hard times, as well as supporting small organizations like rescues that are also maybe going through hard times and and like what you're saying, what you're doing is so great, because I could kind of see why people don't immediately connect the dots when you're like, hey, I got free food for you. And not everyone who picks up the phone when you're calling might realize that, oh, if I get free food, that releases X number of dollars a month for another use that might be more impactful or might be equally impactful, like spaying and neutering or education around spaying and neutering, or, you know, medical care. The very thing you're doing is a great, probably, I mean, I'm sure often unmet need, and maybe not even thought, you know, like thought about need.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, look, there's this third party out there that's helping animal rescues and supporting animal welfare, and it's supplying food, and now we have all this money to do all these other great things.
Right.
I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. I love what you're doing too. You do a wonderful service out there, and I'm a coffee drinker, so that's how I found you. And it's wonderful coffee and what you're doing and giving back, and it's a great strategy. You know, the if you like coffee, you're rescuing dogs with every sip you take. So
Right.
it's a good concept, and it's a good plan.
Yes, marrying philanthropy, animal philanthropy with commerce.
Correct.
And a fantastic product. So which coffee did you get? Do you like dark, medium, or light?
I'm a dark roast whole bean drinker.
So did you get bona fide or black paw or both?
Both, and I just got some cold brew, so that'll be my first try. I'm a cold brew drinker too, so.
Did you get the cold brew in the packs or the cold brew just ground?
In the packs.
Okay, so now you know what to do. You soak that pack.
Yes.
You soak that pack for at 12 to 24 hours in a quart of water.
Okay.
If you do 12 hours, you get cold brew. You just pour it over ice, whatever, you got cold brew. If you do 24 hours, you have a concentrate. And then you take the pack out, and then you can dilute it with water or milk or spirits, whatever you want to put in it. But
Good.
so if you do the 24 hours, you get more coffee because then you'll dilute it.
I see. Oh, I did not know that.
Yes,
I'm eager for it to show up. It's always exciting. It's funny because my dog Rosita, when she was young, you know, when the coffee grinder goes, she used to just like, you know, move around. And then when the grinder's off, because she gets up early with me, so the grinder goes, and then I'd move around. So every time the coffee grinder grinds, she does a dance every morning.
Hugo should do a dance since the damn coffee company's named after her, but he doesn't.
Well, we'll have to get them on FaceTime together so they can see how.
Well, he's on the bed. He'll probably be joining us any moment.
Yeah, mine are fast asleep on the garage ground, so they're resting, you know.
Yes, of course, because it's a dog's life.
That's right. And people ask me, so who do you run this nonprofit with? I said, it's me and my two dogs.
Yes.
Helaine, Henry, and Rosita. It's the three of us. We're a team, and we're feeding hungry dogs and cats out there. You know,
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
I just love that. I think
That's good.
I love, Helaine, that you saw a need. You just are driving, you see a need, and you're like, I'm going to do this thing. And within 3 days, you're suddenly doing this thing.
Yeah, I was lucky, you know, it fell into place, but I've always had such a deep love and passion for animals. My mom is like that. I obviously have the direct gene. I have 3 daughters. They have the deep love. It's just when you have this deep passion for animals, you want to help them because they're so helpless, and they need us to help them, and you do what you can do. And off to another little segment on a different little venture. I have twins, and the older twin by 8 minutes, is in graduate school in Israel, and she became familiar with the need for the rescue dogs there, and the dire situation. So to make a long story short, we went to visit her, and we came home with 3 rescue dogs. So they went and they found nice homes in DC. So that's something that I'm kind of looking into as well, just to get rescue dogs and kind of grow our name and feed them, but also save. That's my long-term goal, is to just save and rescue dogs the best we can also. That's
wonderful. It is interesting too, like the crazy love for animals. Like I do a pitch, and I try to describe like the crazy love of animals that I have, and we don't know where it comes from. Like I have no idea where my crazy passion for animals comes from. I've just always had it. Like as long as I can remember, I've just always loved animals, like more than people, frankly.
Oh, I hear you. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful trait. And I find the animal lovers, when you meet another animal lover, it's an instantaneous connection and a bond because you
Oh
get
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah. Like my husband jokes, like we were thinking of doing even like this TikTok campaign. We were going to call it like squirrel, because I can be like so mad, or I could be distracted, or I could be whatever mood I can be in. Say it's negative for the sake of argument. And I see a dog or a puppy. I could be like, giving somebody the business, and then I see, well, hello, and then I'll start chatting, kissing on a dog. It's like an immediate antidote to whatever's happening in the world for me. Show me a dog.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Absolutely. They're very innocent and they
Yep.
can make the grayest day bright and sunny. So
That's right. That's right. All right. So now, Helaine, we're getting to the rah shish gumba part of the live stream here. So I wanted to make sure that your fan base, the Kobe Henro fan base, which I hope there's many, because they should be, because you're fantastic, understand that what this is. So for a week, starting Monday morning, starting this past Monday, Hugo Coffee Roasters is donating $2.50 for every item sold on the website during the course of the week. Not every order, every item. So your fan base, maybe they don't drink coffee, they can buy a shirt. They could buy a mug and drink their hot chocolate or tea. They could buy, anything on the website is where I donate $2.50, not just coffee. So
nice.
And it ends on Sunday at midnight. So we still have some time to sell, and get your fans and our fans to buy our fantastic coffee. And we will donate to Kobe Henro on Monday morning. And what we want to know, because this is my favorite day of the week, is Monday morning when I get to Venmo money. I'd love to know, for example, if we killed it, what would you do? What could you do with $300 at Kobe Henro?
Oh, well, as you can see, behind me, I have a lot of food. I have thousands of pounds of food, and they're in my garage. And here's Henry. He
Hi,
got
Henry.
up for that because he comes and sniffs the food every day. Yes. So I would love to get a storage unit so I can, especially since I'm a Bostonian, and with the snow in the winter, my goal is by October and November, I would love to have a storage unit so I could keep all of my food and treats and supplies I get from people, critter safe out of my garage, and have a real storage unit. That is what I'm saving for right now.
I like that. That's great.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Because then you don't have spoilage, or you don't have leaks, or the weather coming in the garage, snow coming in the garage, that kind of thing.
Correct. And I feel as though, thankfully, we're growing at a steady rate. And I am just so eager to keep expanding, because I know there's always more. There's so many dogs that need help and cats that need help. Mm-hmm. And by me feeding them is a good start to get them and get them fed and help people and help animals. And I want people to be able to hold on to their animals too, and not say, I can't afford that. So I'll go anywhere to bring people food. And I've dragged my husband with me when it's a little sketchy area. So,
yeah.
Well, that's we're getting it done,
You are. And I think it's so wonderful. You're a young organization, and you're already having such a major impact in the world of animal rescue and welfare. And I'm thrilled to support Kobe Henro this week, and I can't wait to see what the results are on Monday morning. So, Helaine, get the word out to your fan base. We'll get the word out to our fan base, and sell for the next 3 days so I can write you a big old check Monday morning.
Oh, that's wonderful. And Claudia, thank you so very much. And Beth, working with her has been wonderful too. What you're doing is tremendous. And I am telling everybody, I had my first event. I said, if you like coffee, come talk to me. So hopefully we're getting the word out in the Northeast for what you're doing is wonderful, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Helaine. Now you have a wonderful weekend, and we will be in touch Monday.
Sounds good, Claudia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Stay well.
Bye. Bye-bye.